So let me put some context for you. I am the 24th of 25 children. From a mother, from a father, and a mother, nine mothers. We were born in Payne Avenue, abstract poverty. I can't ever recall sleeping on a bed that didn't have at least 6 of us on it. And in the 1980s, when the election was violent, my parents had to run away from Payne Avenue, and we captured a piece of land in Grange Lane. Isn't that true, Maureen? We captured a piece of land right near the train line in Grange Lane. And when we talk about poverty, we're talking about not being poor. But there's a difference between being poor and living in poverty. And then I just use 2 examples. When you have to drink water from a drum that is infested with mosquitoes, that's poverty. When you have to carry a bucket to a standpipe that is being poured. When you have to live in a a 1-bedroom house that leaks with no flooring, with at least 12 family members living, that's poverty. I experienced both.
Teach them! Always make sure the message I reach them!
So when I went to Grange Lane, on the dirt road where I have to go to school without shoes, my mother used to oil our feet in the morning and send us off to school. I knew something was wrong with that. At age 8, I had a problem with that. I didn't know how to fix it, but I knew I had a problem with it. And the first lesson is, please do not accept your status quo. You need to change it. I used to see my mother cry. And she used to lock the 1-bedroom door. She used to lock the door, and I couldn't understand why. But she just couldn't bear to listen to her kids crying for hunger. My father was there, never worked, a Rasta man, never worked in his entire life, but all he wanted was to have a lot of children. So he had 25 of us. One day I woke up and my mother, the only glimmer of hope that I had, left. I was only 9 years old. And my father, in his anger, decided not to send us to school, and I had a problem with that. So for 1 year, I was running up and down in the cane fields, on a dirt road, doing nothing, and I had a problem with that. One day I decided to run away myself too, because I needed to find my mother. Because that lady was my glimmer of hope. That lady was my beacon of hope, and I had to find it. And I was only 9 years old. I lived on the streets of Gregor Park, sleeping in the train station at Gregor Park, looking for my mother, because I heard she was living in the Gregor Park area for 4 months. I walked from bus stop to bus stop, trying to see when she's going to come off the bus. I didn't know what I was doing. But there was this something inside of me that I need to find that lady, because I wasn't accepting the status quo that I had. I had to change it. And one day, I saw her. I ran to her, and she clutched her handbag. Because this was a dirty boy running to her, she didn't recognize me, and she thought I was a thief. But when she looked and she saw that it was her son, she hugged and we cried together. And then she now have a problem because now she's going to have to take me to the house where she's living, which is a one room with the gentleman she was living with. But I decided to hold on to that cocktail, and I said, "You're not leaving me. We are going to go down there together." And that is resilience. If you want to talk about resilience, that is resilience. But it never stopped there. The Lord bless his soul, he's deceased. But he took us, and I went and snatched my little sister because I said I need my sister to come with me. When we went to the Gregor Park All-Age School, the then principal, Mr. Titus, didn't want us into the school. He said, and I love teachers, I love principals, but I had a problem with a principal looking at my mother and said, we are not going to admit you into the school because you come from Grange Lane. Mash down that lie. My mother, who was a hustler, decided that she is going to stop hustling that day. And we sat there for the whole day, because we're not leaving. And if she wanted to leave, this young man was not going to leave. When he came out and saw us, he was surprised. And he said, "You know what? I'm going to let you into the school like animals. I'm not going to admit you like decent people. We're going to let you into the school." And he looked at me and he said, "All I want from you is to behave yourself, not to do well. How could you want to do well? You come from Grange Lane." But I knew I was going to prove him and the whole world wrong. He let us into the school, and I was placed in the dunces class. How could I want to be in any other class? I was placed in the dunces class. Within 2 weeks, Mrs. McIntosh, I love her. She looked at me and she said, no, there's something within you, man. But I want you to sit the common entrance, because this was the last opportunity for me. I was out of school for a while. Then we went to the teacher who was teaching the common entrance class, and that teacher said, "No way, I don't want him, because guess what? I have a good record, and he's going to spoil my record." She said that in front of me. So we have very good teachers, Mrs. Correa, but we have, unfortunately, a few bad ones. And Mrs. McIntosh turned my chair and she said, "Write everything from the board," because it was the blackboard that separated the two classes. She said, "I will teach you." She didn't have to. But it's the love and the care and the passion that I've seen in some of the teachers here today that allowed her to do that. And you know what she did? She registered me and she taught me herself. So when one day, when I heard the lady calling my name, I refused to call her by her name. But when she called me, I was afraid of her, so I didn't answer. And she went, "Who's Martha Steele?" And I didn't answer. I was just afraid of her. And then I saw Mrs. McIntosh running, and she did the footsteps, and she ran to me and she said, "You did it." And I said, "I did. What did I do?" And she stamped her feet and she said, "You did it." And she hugged me and she started to cry. And I was wondering what it was. But little did I know that it was the day the common entrance exam came out in the paper. This boy was the only name successful to St. Jacob High School. She didn't know who it was, and she refused to believe that it could have been me. No problem. No problem. That is all right. Because this lady or anybody is not going to make me lose sight of what I want in my life. Now the problems start going on because I have to go to jail and I have to pay school fees. But I remember when I went to St. Jago and the principal said, the orientation, the principal said, "This is the school for the poor." I turned to my mother and I said, "We're at the right place." Because the other person said, "This is the school for the poor." I said, "Fine, we'll fit in very nicely." Yep. Now through St. Jago it was tough. They used to call me bottle police. I used to go to school at St. Diego at age 12 without shoes. I used to be called all sorts of names. But guess what? I was blinkered. I had a dream, and I was focused, and nobody was going to derail me. I was going to run my own race. So I used to walk to St. Diego school, the classroom every day, and pick up every bottle. They used to call me bottle police, but I good with that, you know. I good with that. And that was what sent me through school, feed my mother. But my mother hustler, she don't make no money for money. And my father, I will leave that right there. I will pause it right there. Anyway, we had to now leave from Gregory Park and go live at Cockburn Pen because of circumstances. That my stepfather died. And we couldn't stay at this place. Now at St. Diego, I used to traverse to Spanish Town from 3 miles. I used to study under the street lights because we didn't have electricity. And sitting right beside me, most times, is the dawn of the area. I felt very protected. But you know what? I got their respect. They were very happy to see someone from the community doing something different from what they were doing. And I was good with that. So I went to St. Diego. It was tough for me. Don't believe it was easy. It was really tough. But I hung on because the strength of my mother, the values that she taught me, I couldn't take a pen home. Although we were poor, that she didn't give to me. Wow! I couldn't do that. But those were the values that continue to keep me on today. Anyway, I came across a very lovely teacher. She's deceased now, Miss Golson. She was a guidance counselor. She took me under her wings. She fed me. She shared her lunch with me. She shared breakfast because she knew at White School used to bust me shut. But you know what was the issue for them and confusing them? I was coming first in my class. So whilst everybody else was ramping and jumping up and down, I had to borrow books, live at the St. Catherine Parish Library, and do what I knew I had to do. Because I believe I didn't have a choice. We have a lot of choices today. Then I believe I didn't have one. I went to St. Diego, did 7 O-levels, I got 5 distinctions and 2 credits. I went on to the A-levels. I became deputy head boy at St. Diego High School. I did 4 A-levels, I got 2 distinctions and 2 credits. I filled out the form and I said, I now need to go to university. And when I went to my mother, she said, help me no man, help me, I need help. I said, I can better able to help you after I finish this journey. So I took it all in my own hands. So when I applied to the university and got accepted, I didn't know how to pay the school fee. So what I did, I went to the student loan and I got all the forms by myself, filled them out and walked and looked for somebody to be my guarantor. And I entered the University of West Indies to study a bachelor's degree in accounting. In my first year of university, without books, with my proud black shirt that says University of the West Indies, coming from Cockburn Pen, because I was still there, but I was proud to wear it, because I'm not at university. I did 10 courses and I got 8 A's and 2 B pluses. And then I saw scholarship advertised called the KPMG Deep Market Accounting Scholarship. I applied for it. I was interviewed with 12 other people, and guess who got it? I did. Yes, I can. That was $185,000. It felt like $185 million for me. So I was able to send myself to the University of the West Indies and graduated with honors from the University of the West Indies. And I was employed by KPMG and decided to do the ACC accounting exam. That accounting exam was administered, and I guess it's still administered out of London. I sat that exam in the shortest possible time, and I remember one day I was at my desk and I got a call. I got a call from the president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, and she said to me, "Wow, Marcus Steele, this boy from Cockburn Pen, got the highest average ever in the history of the exam in 1997. I said, "Me?" She said, "Yes." And that was in 1997. And they invited me to a function, and I brought my mother with me. She was the source of my inspiration. And I remember someone asking her, "Which member are you?" And she said, "What am I saying?" I said, "Mommy, don't worry about that." Yeah? She was right beside me because she had to bask in my success and glory. It came in the paper that I was honored by the Institute. 2 weeks later, I received another call. You know who this call was from? It was from the late Ian Boyd. So my first profile interview was May 1997. I was interviewed for the successes then. In that interview, I was called by the managing director of Carreras and said, "I want you on my team. You're a good guy." And that's how I entered. That's how I entered the cigarette company of Jamaica. And that was when I said, "Listen, I need to move on." So I went, I did the Florida International University program, and I graduated at the top of the class. So I was the class valedictorian. The company was so impressed with me, they sent me to Harvard Business School. They were so impressed with me, they sent me abroad for 3.5 years. So I lived in Costa Rica. Entonces yo hablo muy bien español. At age 33, I was invited to come back as the finance director of that company, the third most profitable company in Jamaica, and still is. The youngest finance director ever. What I'm saying to the graduates, yes, you can. Those words that you sung today should mean something to you. But there were other persons, don't believe it was easy, because there are some persons who still want to define your lane for you, you know. Because I remember someone said to me, "Boy, you know, you reached FD in Carreras, what more you want?" I said, "That's none of your business." Yeah? I define my lane, I'm going to run my race. So when I said I told someone that I wanted to become managing director, they thought you want too much now. I said, that's not your job. That's not your job. Your job is not to tell me that. Your job is maybe to help me to get to my dream. And if you're not a part of my dream, I step aside and I move on. And that is how I operate up until now. So when I went to Harvard, I went on a sabbatical from the company, went to Harvard, and I came back. I was appointed the general manager of the company. So I was sent to Trinidad for 2 years to work, leading all the Caribbean countries except Trinidad for the British American tobacco business. This is the boy from Pin Avenue. This is the boy. They used to call me Big Pants Boy because the same lady had a son who was much bigger than I was, and his pants we used to wear. But that was all right. This is the buckle police. But that was all right. Because for me, it is the journey to a destination. And that was what was important to me. So when I was called back to become the managing director at age 37 of the Carreras, which is company here, I thought that was a dream come true. I was the youngest managing director of that company and still is the managing director today. Couple months after I got that role, we had the legislation on tobacco, and I had to lead the organization through a tough time. But you know what? I experienced toughness. So it was the right man for the job. 1 year later, I got a call. You know, when I get these calls, I feel very good about it. Because it's not something that I pursue and say, you know what, I'm going for that. I'm just doing what I think is the best thing. It so happened to be, I got a call from someone in Barbados. And I said, wow. And you know what this call was? Congratulations, Mr. Steele. We are from the Business Suite magazine, and they explained to me what that company, what they do. And what they do, they assess CEOs across the entire Caribbean region and in the country, and they rate them based on performance. I was honored in 2014 as the top CEO in Jamaica and number 3 in the entire Caribbean. Now, did I see this? No, I didn't. But I knew through education and my hunger and passion for it, I'm gonna get it. And if you are in my way, you gotta move. And I don't care who you are, but you gotta move. The integrity and honesty, the values my mother taught me are the same values that I live by today. When my mother, who worked so very hard, and I knew she wanted a home, I bought a home for my mother before I bought one for myself. And when I tell you say I buy a home for her, it's not Marcus Steele up on the title, you know. It's Wilmina Nicholson. It's Fair House. I still have my 24 brothers and sisters. I'm the only one who has reached thus far. But I love them to death. I drive past here every Saturday because my mother lives in Portmore. Most of my family members do live in Portmore. But there was something I needed to do. I needed to close. My father died and I didn't go to his funeral. I didn't like him. And I was not afraid to say that. Because I don't know what it feels like for my father to say, son, I love you. I don't know what that means. But I didn't go to his funeral, but something was tearing at my heart, and I said I needed to close this. So I went to his grave one day for the whole day, and I sat and I spoke with him, and I cried and I bawled. But I promised him one thing. I said, every single thing that you didn't do, I will for my children, for your grandchildren. And all the father activities that you did not do, I will do. So you've taught me something. You've taught me how not to do. So when I saw the father standing up and I sat there, I felt very proud. And guess what? I was the proud father of my son who graduated from Stella Morris last week, honored by the ministry, 98.4% average to Campion College. Because everything that my father didn't give me, I gave to him. I said I want to change the next generations of Steeles. And I will. Yes, I can, and yes, I will. So my lessons to you, brethren, you need to want it badly. Don't do it for anybody else. Do it for yourself. I'm standing here today because I took that on for myself. You are going to get obstacles because obstacles will come in your way. But you know how I treat with obstacles? I pause and I do 2 steps backwards, 3 steps forwards, and I live by that principle. Another thing is have integrity and values. Cling on, live. Find something that drives you and live by it. It's very important. And because I love my mother so much, even at my age now, I will never, anything that I'm doing, I will first ask myself, will my mother will approve of it? And if the answer is no, I'm not doing it. I have not gotten it wrong so far, by the way. So my challenge and message to you guys, go for it. If you want it badly, you can get it. It doesn't matter. Don't cry about your circumstances. I listened to the counselor today about, as politicians. Politicians are not there to give me anything. I just don't want you to stop me. That's it. I don't depend on others. I just want, when I want to open that door, you're not behind it, stopping it. That's all. What I would love for you to do is to help to show me the door. I don't want you to open it for me neither. Because I can open it for myself. Because when you open your own door, it becomes yours. So in closing, my challenge again to you guys, when I'm looking at it, I remembered, do you know how difficult it was for my mother to even find the shoes to send me to the graduation at St. Jacob? I almost didn't go. But you know what? I would have gone same way without shoes. And I remembered one day, just in closing, it was in 4th form. She didn't have the money to buy the shoes, but I had a shoes that was made of cloth. And the front part of it, the toes them start to show. And my mother said to me, boy, it's very difficult for me to accept for you to go to school like that on the 1st September morning. And I said, you know what, Mom, I'm going to school. So I put it on. But I was very, I'm like a pride and thing, I was very sensitive. So I stood up at the back of the line. At St. Jacob High School, we used to go on the corridor to have devotion. So I stood at the back, and I was very sensitive that I was the only person there with the toes out. So I decided to stand like this to cover it. And all the boys at the back stood like that to take the attention off me. And I appreciated that up until today. And everybody wondered why they were standing like that. But I was the only one who knew why they were standing like that. Because they wanted to take the attention off me. It's all in your hands. I challenge you ladies, I challenge you gentlemen. Go for it. It's all yours. The sky's the limit. You are going to get obstacles. There are going to be people who want to decide your future for you. No. You need to take it and decide it for yourself. You need to want it very badly. Go for it. Be passionate about it. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here today. And I'm a very proud person today. I can sleep in my bed at nights. Because everything that I have gotten and have received in my life came from honest, hard work. And you can get it too. With that, I hope the parents, I hope you get something from the story. I hope you did. Teachers, I hope you did. Thank you, teachers. Thank you, the great teachers. I love it. I still go to Gregor Park. Maureen knows my life story. She knows it. Yes? I still go down Gregor Park. My brothers still live down there. I take my kids down there and I show them the journey. And I said, listen, we are trying to make it better for you. Yes, don't disappoint us. With that, I thank you guys very much for listening. All the best. Well done.
Teach them. Hey, yo, hello. Send the message and make it reach them. It's Teach Them right here. Warlord representing.
Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment below. Remember to like and share the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content. Follow me on social media and check out the suggested videos on screen. This is Teach saying, until next time, walk good, my friends.